Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. So, it's me, Ma'am N. So, today, meron na naman tayong panibagong lesson. We call Rainforest and Coral Reefs and Mangrove Swamps. But before that, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button, notification bell, so that you will updated if I have a new upload video. So, I wanted to say thank you to all of you guys for supporting my channel. So, thank you again. So, let's start na po tayo about sa ating lesson sa week 6. Wow! Week 6 na po tayo, guys. So, malapit na rin ang third quarter. So, let's move on. So, in our background of the studies or the introduction, okay, so when we see tropical rainforest, so meron tayong yan. Then coral reefs sa ating mga kadagatan and mangrove swamps sa ating mga estuaries. So now, have you been ever to swamp or grassland or beach or a reef or a mangrove? So, you have to ask in yourself na nakapunta ka na ba dun sa swamp area, sa grassland, sa beach, sa reef, or sa mangrove? Kung ang sagot nyo ay hindi pa, tatalakayan natin yan. Pag ang sagot nyo naman ay oo, so mas mainam dahil familiar na kayo sa environment. So, what kind of plants can you find there? Okay, so mga nakasagot ng oo, ay ma-identify nyo kung ano yung mga plants na nandoon sa swamp, sa grassland, sa beach, sa reef, at saka sa mangrove. Okay, but so maglalagay pa rin ako ng reference video from any other educational videos na about the swamp, about the grassland, about the beach, and sa reef, and sa mangrove. Kung what are those animals living in that particular place, what are the plants or organisms are there in the particular place. So, there's a lot of animation videos about this. Kaya, yung link na yon, so don't forget to tap the link nasa description ko. Ilalagay ko yung mga links sa aking description box. Okay, so let's proceed. Let's try to explore and discover the marvel of science through the module. Allow us to show you the amazing way scientists work with ideas. As you will move through this module, you will find engaging questions about the interaction among living things. Okay, when we say living things, lahat pong na may buhay sa mundong ibabaw. Okay, so the other term for this living things, scientific terms, is biotic. So don't remember this word, this term, biotic, kasi hanggang sa college kayo, kung gusto nyong biology major, palagi nyo yan ma-encounter yung word biotic. From the word bio means life, so it is all about living things. And non-living things, when we say non-living things, lahat ng mga bagay or nakikita natin sa mundong ibabaw na walang buhay, yun po yung non-living things, or in scientific word, it is abiotic. Again, so meron na tayong two science terms natutunan today, is biotic and abiotic. So let's practice. So living things is very very common and in English term, very very English siya. So let's practice dahil sa science world tayo, dapat natin ibigkas and let's engage this new word in science world. Okay, so biotic and abiotic. So there are many factors there if we go deeper in this lesson about this biotic and abiotic. So we encourage you to find ways to answer this question by providing varied activities. So guys, this lesson is very engaging siya. There's a lot of your scientific skills na mai-enhance yo, like observing, inferring, exploring, and very critical siya. Nasa nasa higher order thinking skill ang gagamitin natin dito dahil most of this is very malalabas or i-share, ganun po. So, there's a lot of activities among this lesson, but I try not to do on any video matters kasi ayoko na ng mga issue. So, we encourage you to find ways to answer, especially by providing specific activities. We expect that through this module, you will become more self-seeking in science, or you say more self-seeking, yung kusa or yung ikaw mismo ang mag-research about this lesson. Kasi parang na curious ka what happened in this kind of environment, like in rainforest, kung ano yung merong animals doon, and what are those biotic components are there in rainforest, the swamps, the estuaries, and many others. So here, the organisms that thrive in one place depend on the environment. So kasi I like this lesson. I like this to study more about the environment. So the scientists that is studying more about this environment is the ecologists, environmentalists, and nature. So I am fan of nature lover and grainy world, and I love helping our environment. So again, so they form relationship. Kung sa mga tao ay meron tayong mga relationship as siblings, cousins, mother and daughter relationship, or just like sa mother and yung mother at saka father nyo, yung mga jowa nyo, mga ganon. So in our environment, there's also a form of relationship with other organisms. So there is an interaction of there. So when we say organisms, it involves the plants and animals inside or in that particular niche or in particular habitat kung saan sila naninirahan. Yung mga animals na kung saan yung food nila, doon sila. Kasi kung wala yung food nila doon, it's either mamatay talaga sila or kakainin din sila, both animals. So dito tayo sa ecosystem nila. So the ecosystem is made up the abiotic component and biotic component. So there is an interaction within that particular place between the animals and the plants and any other abiotic component. So here, so they form relationship with other organisms and with the non-living things, again abiotic, and their habitat. When we say habitat, ito yung tirahan nila. Ito yung place where they wanna take to survive, where their food is available and shelter and anything. Just like human. Kung ang habitat natin is itong barangay natin or house, meron din silang community of same species or same animals na meron silang isang community din. Okay? So that is their habitat. So together they form ecosystem. So ito na yung ecosystem, another scientific word we say eco, so the environment. So ito na yon. It's composed of abiotic and biotic components. So scientists known as ecologists study their relationship. Okay, ang tawag sa tao or scientist na nag-aaral or mga dalubhasa tungkol dito sa ecosystem ay tinatawag silang ecologists. So they study this relationship in order to know about each organism and the ecosystem as a whole. So there are 3 types yata of ecosystem. Basta matatakil natin yan kung ano yung kinds of ecosystem na yon. Okay, so as we go through this lesson, we should be able to know what are the components of our ecosystem. Ito, parang nasabi ko na to. And what are the important role of a relationship between organism in each ecosystem. So, ito yung mga relationship kung paano sila nagkaka-connect, and then that's it. So, the first ecosystem na is tackle natin today is the tropical rainforest. Okay, when we say tropical na kung pupunta tayo sa AP, sa Araling Panlipunan, kung may tropical ganun-ganun dun sa globe, yan, hindi globe yung sa SIM card, yung globo. Okay, so when we say tropical is parang malapit siya sa equator. So, Ecuador din. Okay, so when we say rainforest, ito yung mga virgin forest, yung a place which nandun ang napakalaking mga puno, and then doon jungle siya, jungle. Okay, so the tropical rainforest are woodlands. So when we say woodlands, mga puno, puno, composed of mostly of all tall trees. So mga nakikita natin sa mga movies na there's a lot of tall trees there in their forest, just like the Amazon rainforest. Yung nabalitaan nyo last year na natural naman siyang nasusunog dahil sa sobrang init na. Then yung mga dahon kasi is kapag na dry na siya, meron siyang chemical components na phosphorus, dahil nagmamatik siyang pag sobrang init na ng panahon, magmamatik siya, mag-i-spark doon. Kaya doon na parang 1/8 of the Amazon rainforest nasunog siya, 'di ba? Nabalitaan niyo 'yun. So I think sad siya kasi yung Amazon, ikwento ko lang, yung Amazon rainforest kasi is siya yung lungs sa ating earth. Siya yung lungs. Ibig sabihin, siya yung pinakamaraming na-produce na oxygen sa buong mundo. Kasi napakadami niyang siya yung nag-absorb din ng mga carbon dioxide, yung mga unnecessary particles na gas sa ating environment. Siya nag-absorb, then siya din yung nagproduce ng oxygen. That's why the Amazon rainforest is so called the lung of the earth. Okay, bigyan na lang. Yun nga. Kung ano yung trabaho nilang sa tao, sa human, yun din ang trabaho ng rainforest sa ating earth. So here, they are regions with year-round, so meron yung round, year-round warmth and abundant rainfall, and occupy 6 to 7% of the Earth's surface. So they produce a large percentage of the needed oxygen on Earth. So yun lang yung sinasabi ko na yun. Example na yung Amazon rainforest. So rainforests are also estimated to house more than a half of the world's plants and animal species, most of them still undiscovered. Okay, yung mga botanist ngayon at sa mga zoologists, palagi pa rin silang nag-study about the mga undiscovered na mga plants and animals, kasi dyan po naninirahan yung mga organisms na yan sa loob ng rainforest. Meron pang mga forest ngayon na hindi pa talaga napupuntahan ng mga tao. That's why yung mga botanists, ang botanist kasi scientists siya na nag-study about more on plants. And mga zoologists naman is yung more of the scientists that is studying more on animals. So yung mga scientists na yon, so nagagather pa sila ng information and data to discover new species of plant and animals in that particular ecosystem that is the rainforest. So here, rainforests grow in 4 major layers. So there are 4 layers in our rainforest. The one is the canopy or the top layer. So For you, the canopy. So, siya yung pinaka nasa tuktok sa ating rainforest. Second, the sub-canopy, which is a layer of trees below the canopy. Okay, for example, canopy is nasa taas, ang susunod nun is si sub-canopy. The third is the understory, which is the shady canopy, sub-canopy, ito yung shady, and the floor forest, yung lupa na aapakan natin in the rainforest. Kapag siya yung shady is yung parang I think 30% of sunlight lang siya nandoon. Very malamig siya. Okay, malamig siya doon sa ilalim ng puno na yon. Basta canopy, sub-canopy, shady, and the floor forest. So that are the four major layers of the rainforest. So more than 70% of organisms in the forest live in the canopy and sub-canopy. So yun na nga po. So imagine 70% of organisms ay naninirahan sa canopy and sub-canopy. So the shady understory mostly have small palms, young trees, and non-woody plants. So the floor of the forest has a thin layer of fallen leaves and branches, as well as scattered seeds and fruits that some animals gather. And so, diba sa mga pag napunta kayo sa mga bundok-bundok, sa ilalim ng mga punong kahoy ay nandun yung mga patay na halaman. So which is yan po ang organic fertilizer din. And then yung mga decomposers, as the decaying matters and the humus, sila yung nag-create ng humus, yung mga decaying matters, the decomposers, sila rin yung nag-nutrients dun sa soil na yun. Basta yun. Okay, so basta yun ang floor forest na makikita natin doon. Tumutubo ang mga seeds and mga young plants and yung mga dry leaves. Okay? So next, several varieties of fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. So nandito na yung ano sila? Invertebrates or vertebrates? Comment your answer in the comment section. So what are these? It is an invertebrates or vertebrate fishes, amphibians, reptile, birds, and mammals. Okay. So abound in the rainforest are its rivers. Okay, dahil ang rainforest siya yung nagbibigay din sa atin, aside from nag-produce siya ng oxygen, siya din yung nag-produce ng water. So, siya yung nag-create ng rivers, yung mga ganyan, streams and lakes, ganon, mga anyong tubig. Kasi, dun sa mga part na yon, yung water, water, nasa ilalim ng soil, ayan doon, mga layers of soil, andun yung sa ilalim doon ay tubig. So, however, insects are the most populous among the animals, sometimes with about 40 kinds of ants in just one tree, or 1,200 kinds of beetles in just 19 individual in 3 crowns. So, imagine, so in that particular ecosystem, merong 40 uri ng langgam at 1,200 uri ng mga beetles. Hindi ko alam kung tugal ng beetles, and 19 individuals in the 3 crowns. So, a study has shown that there are possibly over 300 million insects. So, ito yung insects, ano yan? Invertebrates or vertebrates? So, comment your answer in the comment section below. So, dwelling in the canopies and tropical rainforest. When we say dwelling, naninirahan sila doon sa canopies and subcanopies. So, because of the great diversity of life in them, rainforests are ranked as the most complex on the land. So, we say the diversity, so yung dun sa yung sa college kami, yung meron kaming subject ng biodiversity and mga ganun. So, nandun yung mga endangered and non-endangered organisms in that particular ecosystem. Paparamihin muna, and then basta without that insects and tawag nito, and then ayan yung mga animals na yan, wala pong ecological balance na magaganap. Kung mauubos sila, mauubos din ang tao. So yun na po, there's balance in any situation na ganon. Hindi lang yung taong, kapag ang tao ay rumadami, di ba? Dumadami ang population ng tao, sana man din ay dumami din yung mga animals na yon. But sad to say, nowadays, dumadami ang tao, dumadami ang kumakain ng animals. Kasi ang kinakain natin is pork, beef, mga ano. Ano ba yan? Di ba mga animals yan? Di ba? So, anong kinakain ng mga baboy, ng baka? Di ba mga plants? So, ganun lang. Dapat merong balance. Kasi, pag walang balance na magaganap, I think this world will end. So, yun po yun. Okay, so the Philippines, okay, used to have about 70% of its rainforest 100 years ago. But, sad to say, in previous years, 100 years ago, yung rainforest natin ay 70%. Okay, kapag nasa math tayo, so integrate na tayo ng math now. Okay, gawa kayo ng isang bilog. Hanapin mo ngayon yung 70% na yan. Okay, 100%, diba? So, mag-drawing ka nun. 30%, yun lang yung hindi rainforest. So, sobrang laki niya. Sobrang laki ng 70%. Sa ngayon, presently, only less than 8% of the country rainforests are untouched by deforestation and urbanization. So, ito na yung nakakalungkot ngayon dahil ang mga rainforest natin noon ay nagiging syudad na ngayon. And take for an instances, there's a lot of instances na kahit magtanong-tanong kayo sa inyong mga kaninunuan, mga grandfather, grandmother, na dati itong isang lugar na to ay puro mga bukid siya. But now, ano nangyayari? So, nagiging buildings, how many floors? Mga 100 floors, puro semento, wala ka na nakita mga puno and everything. So, sad to say, ngayon ay 8% of the country rainforest ay nawawala na siya. Unti-unti na siyang nawawala. So, when we say deforestation, yung iba pinuputol dahil ginagawang sa bahay, mga furnitures, yun, basta ginagamit naman siya sa economics natin. And yung urbanization, yun, from rural, naging urban. So, yun po ang mga nangyayaring sa ating bansa. So, basta konti na lang yung ganun. Imagine, so, sino may kagagawan? Ako, sila, kayo, tayong lahat ang may kagagawan yan. So, man-made. So, man-made ang gumagawa niyan. So, kung man-made ang gumagawa o sinisira yan, so tayo din ang magbabalik ng mga yan. So, importanteng meron pa rin tayo na preserve na rainforest. So, if deforestation does not stop, ayan, pag hindi daw natapos, ano nangyayari ngayon sa ating mundo or sa ating Pilipinas? Konting ulan lang, baha agad? Ganon, di ba? Kasi, what is the role of the trees? What are the importance of a tree? Maraming at gamit ang isang puno. Di ba? Kunting ulan lang, baha na tayo, guys. Ano nangyayari sa Cagayan Valley? Di ba? Catch basin sila. Yung bundok nila, may nagmimina, may deforestation. Nung umulan, wala na nag-absorb ng tubig. Diba? Kaya, nangyari sa kanila, kung anong nangyari sa kanila, kung hindi tayo titigil, mangyayari din yan sa atin. So, kuha nyo po. Kung kayo po ay bata pa, we should be, intindihin ba? No. Let's, gagawa tayo ng action. Or any, basta makatulong tayo sa environment, no? Kasi pag tuloy yan, kung anong nangyayari sa Cagayan, sa Muntinlupa, sa Rizal, mangyayari din yan sa Cavite. So, if deforestation doesn't stop, there might be no more rainforest in the Philippines after 15 years. So, ibig sabihin nitong 15 years, no? 34 ako ngayon, plus 15, 49 years old. Ibig sabihin, kung 49 na ako, hindi ko alam kung buhay pa ba ako niyan. Kayo ay may mga asawa na ba niyan? Pag umabot sa panahong yan, ay wala ng rainforest, so kawawa ang ating mga anak nyo, mga apo. Hindi nila ma-experience ang na-experience natin. Ngayon ay meron pa tayong nakikitang rainforest. How much more sa panahon nila, wala na silang makikitang ganun po. So, yan po ang ating reflect ba? Kung walang itong rainforest natin, wala yung mga kabundukan natin, yung burol, anong mangyayari sa atin? So, mabubura tayo sa mapa. Okay, let's proceed. Ang lumpot, no? Okay, so, coral reefs. Okay, ang coral reefs is, ibig sabihin niya, from the coral is, nasa ilalim siya ng dagats. Marine organisms, siya yung mga bahay ng mga small fishes. Doon naninirahan yung kung si Nemo, yung sa Finding Nemo. Yun po, yung coral reefs, yung bahay na gumagalaw-galaw. Alam nyo naman kung ano yung corals na yan. Okay, so coral reefs are also one of the most biological diverse ecosystem. So marami din siyang variety of fishes na nanirahan dyan sa ecosystem na yan. So, this coral reefs is also called the rainforest of the sea. Kung meron tayong rainforest sa land, that is a tropical rainforest, meron din tayo sa ilalim ng dagat, the rainforest of the sea is the coral reefs. Okay, so dito sa Philippines naman, and dun sa lugar namin sa Leyte, so meron kaming pinipreserve doon ng mga coral reefs dahil doon po pinapanganak yung mga isda. So, yun. Okay, so here, the coral reefs are made up of limestone which is secreted by corals and deposited in the period of thousands of 2 million years. Okay, so yung limestone, kung nakapasok kayo sa mga cave na parang chalk siya, yung chemical component niya is calcium carbonate o CaCO3. Calcium carbonate ang component niya. So, makakabuo lang kayo ng limestone for a million years ago pa. So, just like sa corals, it takes 1,000 of years bago din siya ma-form into coral. So, sobrang tagal ng panahon na makabuo ng isang coral. So, sa amin, sa lugar namin, dahil kami ay nasa coastal place, pinababawan ang kumukuha ng mga corals dahil nga kasi pag mawawalan yung mga bahay ng mga isda, hindi na sila makaka-produce na maraming anak, itlog, and then aside from that, sobrang bagal ng pagtubo or kasi yung coral is an animal siya na nasa ilalim ng lupa. So they can be 3 types, the fringing reefs. So there are 3 types of reefs. First is the fringing, barriers, and atoll. Ang atoll is parang bilog siya. So, meron din yung mga yung fringing reefs are underwater stands of living corals animals that grow fairly too close to the shore. Okay, so itong fringing reefs na to, types of reefs na malapit lang siya sa baybayin. Pero, it's composed siya ng mga titigas parang rocks and limestone. Okay, so the barrier reefs occur farther offshore and are separated from the shoreline by channels called lagoons. So, okay, so the coral, the atoll are roughly circular reef system that surround a deep of a large lagoon. So, coral reefs are formed when coral polyps, ito na yung malilit na coral sa ilalim ng dagat, from their limestone skeleton by absorbing calcium from the sea water. So, yung paano siya, parang ina-absorb lang niya yung mga calcium na nasa calcium content na nasa seawater. So, reefs are not only made of hard and soft corals but also sponges, crustaceans, jellyfish, sea animals. So, yun po yung nag-ano din sa reef na meron siyang hard and soft corals. So, mandun na paninirahan, hindi lang siya sa mga isda ha. Meron din siya mga crustaceans, jellyfish, and anemones. So, mollusks, sea turtles, reef sharks, dolphins, various fishes, and much more. So, there's a lot na more diverse kasi siya. So, iba't ibang uri ng mga marine organisms na nandun. So, they provide homes for marine animals, which makes marine food chains active and continuous. Because of its great diversity, competition may arise among the organisms in the coral reefs as they compete over food and space. Diba kapag nanonood tayo ng mga movie ng mga shark na ganyan, diba ang kinakain din ng mga shark is small fishes, diba? Tapos yung small fishes kinakain din sa ganyan. So there's a food chain and food web na nangyayari dun sa ecosystem na yon. So, since they are independent and interrelated to each other, variation in one species can severely affect other species. So, other than that, calamities like storm, volcanic eruption, and hurricanes as well as human activities may greatly affect the type of organisms and their relationship within the reefs. Kasi kapag may bagyo, malaki yung waves, masisira din yung mga corals na puputol, mga ganon. When there is a volcanic eruption, kapag ang vulkan ay nasa ilalim ng dagat, so, mapapause din siya ng effect. And the hurricanes, so hurricanes yung mga typhoon, super typhoon. And, yun po yun. Yun nakakasira sa ating reefs. Okay, the third ecosystem, the mangrove swamps. Same din siya sa corals na I know na hindi rin kayo familiar nito. Okay, so mangrove swamps, ano siya? Type of ecosystem na mga trees, pero nasa swamps area siya. Dito, kadalasan makikita nyo yun sa mga pelikula din na nandun yung mga snakes, crocodile, nandun. So, napaka-delikado siya kasi marami din siyang mga animals na nasa ilalim ng mangroves. Or in Tagalog ay, hindi ko na kung anong Tagalog na yun. Basta sa Bisaya is bakawan. I-research ko ba ng Tagalog ng mangrove? Ha? Charot. Okay. Mangroves are trees. Puno siya. That grows along the coast. Coastal area. So, parang may nakikitang mga ganito sa Bacoor. Merong mga ganito. So, they are usually found in shallow waters along the mouths of the bays, lagoons, and rivers. Ito yung doon nagmi-meet ang fresh water and salt water. Nandun po. Para siya yung end ng river. Tapos biglang dagat. Parang siya yung nasa gitna. Parang siya yung basta nag-mix na yung salt and fresh water na nandun. Basta marami din siyang organisms na naninirahan doon. Pwedeng mga crocodile nga at saka snakes na water snake doon po. So, mangroves can tolerate salty water because their roots can filter out the salts before absorbing water into the plant. So, they can have the ability to store salts, redundant salts in their bark or old trees and shed them periodically to get rid of the salt. So, ina-absorb niya yung salt water. Siya, feeling ko kasi yung mangrove kapag tinanim natin sa fresh water, hindi siya mabubuhay kasi ang ina-absorb niya yung mga salt sa seawater. So, mangrove roots form the breeding grounds of the or nursery. So, ibig sabihin nursery, kung sa atin ay meron tayong nursery doon ng yung mga baby organism, lahat mga bagong panganak, nandun sa ilalim ng mangrove roots na yon. Doon din sila nagme-mate. Doon sila gumagawa ng new organisms. Yung ganun po, doon sila nagpaparami. So, for fishes and marine organisms, so they intertwined roots, protects the larvae and young animals from predators and act as home to rich communities for marine invertebrates and larvae. So, kasi, marami kasi mga doon, mga microorganisms na kinakain din ng mga young organism. So, they also provide shelter to seasonal visitors like egrets and migratory birds. Okay, ito may mga migratory birds na yung, biglang dumadami yung mga birds na yan. So, yun po ang migratory birds kasi sa place na yon ay malamig na yata or sobrang init. So, pumunta sila dito sa Pilipinas para dito lang sila maninirahan. Pag natapos na yung season na yon, babalik ulit sila doon. Yun yung mga birds. Yung mga sobrang daming birds na kapag lumilipad ay sabay-sabay sila. So, here, these birds also receive nourishment by eating shrimps, crabs, and other mollusks around the mangrove. So, yun po, nung nag-study pa ako nung college, meron kaming field study about this, pupunta talaga kami dito. Nakakatakot lang is nandun yung mga monitor lizard, snakes, mga shrimps, mga crabs, nandun sa ilalim. So, kung kakainin ka talaga, So, mangroves also stabilize the shoreline so they can stilt like roots and catch particles of the silt, dirt, and sand that build with shoreline. So, they also remove large quantities of inorganic nutrients and sediments to mainly quality of the coastline water. So, ang mangroves, guys, is nakakatulong din siya kapag meron kayong storm surge. Siya yung parang barrier kapag storm surge na sa ating baybaying dagat. Okay, so in your learning task 1, answer the following question. Write your answer in your separate answer sheet. So, yan, you have to answer what is an ecosystem, what are examples of diverse ecosystem. So, number 2, what is rainforest? Why is rainforest known as the lung of the earth? So, third, what are the major parts of the rainforest? Describe each. 4, what are the coral reefs? Where they are found? Where are they found? Why are they important to marine life? So, ganon. So, 5, what are the different types of coral reefs and describe each? So, do I need to explain this in Tagalog? Sorry. Okay, so in your learning task to fill in the blanks, write your answer in your separate sheet. So, you have to choose your answer. You have to choose your answer inside this box. So, yan. And no need to write the entire paragraph, but write the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 9. And your learning test, you complete the chart, copy this in your answer sheet. So, you have to complete the chart. Copy this template, okay? And then answer the following question in your answer sheet. So, what are the living or biotic and non-living things? Abiotic in tropical rainforest, coral reefs, and mangrove, So, you have to name all the biotic. So, dun sa video na mapapanood nyo is kailangan nyo i-name, i-identify kung ano yung mga buhay na nandun, ano yung mga walang buhay na nandun sa rainforest, sa coral reefs, and sa mangrove swamps. Kahit na ang tawag dito, kahit na hindi nyo, kahit makalimutan kong maglagay ng link, pwede nyo na lang mag-type kayo ng rainforest. So, meron na kayong makikita mga rainforest talaga sa YouTube. And coral reefs, same as the coral reefs, ganun din, and swamps. Then, explain the interaction of living things in tropical rainforest. So, you have to explain why do you need to interact with each other and why do you need to so, mga ganun. Mga interaction and relationship within that particular ecosystem. So, that's all for today, guys. And thank you so much. If you have a question, so don't forget to leave your question in our comment section. And if you have any suggestion, recommendation, violent reaction, bashers, haters, welcome. So, thank you so much guys and God bless. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.